Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Music Scrap, the musical scrapper. And I'm still at my mom's this Monday and next Monday. Next Monday, I'll see if I can get my sister's camera working. It's an old camera, so I have no idea what the quality would be like, even if it works with my Mac. But I will see. But for now, anyway, I've got another 10 days here at my mom's, so we're doing pretty good. Now that the major first heat wave of the summer is gone, now it's just warm and humid instead of boiling hot and humid. So today, back to Inkscape for a little bit. I guess I'll do some stencils. Since Pavla got us all started in stencils, I am no pro like her, for sure. Definitely not a pro. I have tons to learn, but you learn by doing. So that's what I like to do. Anyway, press number 5 to get your full screen. So, and there's Nova letting everybody know that she doesn't like the fact that someone... No, I'm just on my computer. But right now, this is Inkscape. It's a free program you can download to your computer to create SVG files. It's kind of like a version of Adobe Illustrated, from what I understand, but much more. Doesn't have all the options, but it's free, so how can you beat that? Well, exactly, Eileen. Pavla helped me last week with an issue. I knew there was a way you had to do it, and then but I hadn't found it yet. So I watched, how I learned about Inkscape is I downloaded it. I found it by accident when I first got my Shortcuts a Lot. And when I got my Shortcuts a Lot with my Cricut 4 years ago, I was downloading SVG files from other places for free like a crazy person. But I love the computer. I love design. I love that kind of stuff. No training in it whatsoever. Everything I've just learned on my own and from the internet. So when I was looking for SVG files, I came across this YouTube channel called Scrappy Doo. And Scrappy Doo had a whole bunch of videos on Shortcuts a Lot. So I used him to learn about Shortcuts a Lot. He also did a lot of a number of videos he did on Inkscape. So I was like, oh, well, that's a cool program. And so I learned from him, and then there's one or two other people online that I found. Like when I find YouTube, I have to find someone who has a decent style when they're going through something. I can learn it even if they're not teaching it, but I do have to have someone who goes logically through the program step by step, and then I can interpret it and teach myself. But if they kind of just click, 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 I don't even bother watching. So I don't know. That's just because I'm picky as a teacher. I like a certain style. Hi, Kathleen. Hi, Mitzi. Let me go through the list here and say hi. So there's Barb and Candy, Deb Crafty, Dixie, Eileen, Jenny, Jen, I should say. Sorry, Jen Art. Oh, hi, Jen. We met her at Patty's. Janet, Kathleen, Kitty, Lori, Linda Mayo, Mitzi, Erica, Pavla's here, Sunset, Carol, Tam, and Colleen, and 3 visitors. Hello, visitors. So, hello to everyone. Anyway, so I found Scrappy Doo, on, and it's CRAPPYDEW, if you're wondering. And he had quite a few videos on basics of Inkscape and that kind of thing. So it's really neat. Now, you don't use it just to make, to use for stencils. Obviously, you can make SVG files for it. So you can create buttons for your web page and your blog and all that kind of stuff using this program. So it's a good program. So anyway, So I thought I asked some people earlier what kind of stencils, I could do or what I could create, what I could show you on here. So if during this you have any questions, remember my program. I don't see in my chat program, I don't see the blue Q. So if you have a question specific for me, please type it in all caps. And if I don't see it the first time, just type it again. And I know you're not yelling at me, or you are yelling at me trying to get my attention. Anyway, so I went in and found a couple of clip art before Pavla came on. So I'm going to import a file. And I've got some in my on my desktop. And this is my favorite one that I found this afternoon. Look at that. Is that not just too cool? Ooh, too cool for words. Too cool for words. Oh, well, Jen, you probably know. You'll be able to help me if I get stuck then, if you know Illustrator and CS3. Isn't that cool? Oh, you work in Corel Draw, Pavla? Oh, okay, all right. You know what's funny? Way back when I had one of my first computers, way back in the late 80s. No, it wouldn't have been the late 80s because I didn't even have. It would have been one of my earliest computers that had a hard drive in the 90s, early 90s. And I bought Corel Draw, and I'll tell you, it invaded and took control over my whole stupid computer. Oh, I was so mad. Of course, I had Windows back then, not a Mac. It took over everything. I don't know what on earth it did to me. But anyway, hi, GD. Nice to see you. Yeah. So I instantly went about trying to get rid of Corel, but oh man, it inserted its files everywhere. That's one thing I don't like about Windows, is that when it installs programs, it puts bits and pieces of the program all over the place. So all the exec files go in one spot and the ini files go in another, and oh. So sometimes when you try and delete things, it's eesh. Anyway. So right now, if I click on this, now remember, let's do a couple of review things from last week. All right. If you're making something that you want to cut on your cutting machine, whether it's a Cricut through Scal or Shortcuts a lot or Make the Cut, or if it's through the Eclipse by Sizzix, which uses Shortcuts a lot, or whether it's through your Cameo. Now, with your Cameo, you can only import SVG files if you have the Designer Edition. Okay, so you have to get that. And a Mac does that too? No, a Mac stores the full program all together in a file. It doesn't divide up the exec files. Really? Really? Well, and I'm sure, I mean, I didn't know anything. Okay, this was first when I had my first computers, and everything I learned about computers was because my Windows computers crashed and I couldn't afford to get them fixed. And so I had to figure out how to fix my computers. Yeah. And, so, yeah. So here's how your Inkscape's set up. All down here, these are your drawing tools, okay, all your different drawing tools. Up here is your toolbar that controls all the different specs of those drawing tools and the manipulating part of your drawing tools, okay, are all up here. All right. Oh, really, Erica? Huh, really? Hmm, I did not know that. Now, when you're looking for clip art that will make good stencils, if you're not designing from scratch yourself. Now, like Pavla says with hers, this is not one that I could sell as a stencil because although this clip art was free clip art um, when I went online and went to the website where it's hosted, it was free, available and free. But I still can't, I can use it myself, but it's not like I could make a stencil to sell, okay, using this image because it's still not my image, okay? Oh, see, so those were programs not made by Mac but downloaded from somewhere else. Yes, okay. So it was probably a Windows programmer, Erica, that created those programs. If you buy a Mac program, it doesn't do that. That's true, Eileen. If Pavla sells her stencils, you won't ever have to cut any. I tell you, Pavla has contact eye stencils, and they would go through and they would sort out any that would be a copyright issue anyway. So, yeah. All right, so as I said, drawing tools if you want to draw. These are the manipulating tools, the tools you can use to manipulate. Okay? Down here is information. So when I click on this, it says that it's an image. It shows you the size, 800 by 600. You want it to be at least 400 by 400 to make a decent stencil. Otherwise, there are too many. The pixels, um, it's too hard to make a decent cut. Oh my gosh. Sorry about the... There's not a whole lot of lawn around behind the house that gets mowed, so we should be okay, I think. Anyway, sorry about the lawnmower. He's right under my window here. So, in order for your... Okay, as I was going to say, clip art are made from... Oh, man, I'm getting distracted today. Clip art are made from pixels. SVG files are made from lines, and on the end of each line is a node. So it's kind of like paint by number, or no, not paint by number, I mean dot to dot. When you used to buy those coloring books where you would connect the dots, dot to dot, in order, and then you'd end up with your picture at the end. Okay, well that's what an SVG file is. An SVG file has nodes, like the dots on your dot to dot drawing, and it's the program, your cutter is told to cut from this node to that node, this node to that node. And then there's information within the node that tells whether it's a curved cut or a straight cut that goes in between or whatever. But those nodes hold all the information for your cutter. Oh, it is cool, Jen. So when I look at this, it says that it's an image, and I need it to be a path. So I need to go up here and under path, because I have to make it a path. So I'm going to go under path, and I'm going to ask it to trace a bitmap, the bitmap. Because JPEGs, GIFs, PNGs are all bitmaps. They're all pixels. All right, so I'm going to leave it just on the, most of the time, the default one is fine. Sometimes you have to change it depending on the clip art. All right, now obviously, ooh, that didn't sound good. Must have went over a stick or a stone or something. Okay, so that doesn't have a very good visual image there. Now, I have no idea. I'm going to try. Sometimes it's just hit and miss what's going to work. This may be too... I may have to do... Hold on. Okay. Let's try this and put it up some. Nope, that's not going to work. Color. All right, so that there's only one color, so whoa. Ooh, what was I at? 8, wasn't it? Let's try 7. Okay, let's see what that has. Okay, so when I close that and go back here, hold on. 5,192 nodes. Yeah, no, that's not going to happen. Now, if you're wondering if it's going to work, here's the thing. It's not going to work. I know it's not going to work by the look of it, but I wanted to show you. When I click here, all right, and the reason it took so long, there's 5,192 nodes. That would take weeks for your machine to cut. Now, here's where you can tell what it's going to try and cut. Go up here to view, and go down to display. So instead of displaying normal, ask it to display the outline, because then it's going to display all of what's going to get cut. And there's how it's going to cut. Okay, so you can see that each of those little shapes is going to get cut. So I'm going to go back to normal, and I'm going to delete that, and I'm going to see if I go back to path and trace bitmap, I'm going to try brightness scan, and I'm just going to try 5 scans. 6 scans. All right, let's try grays. So once again, the way that's going to cut, once again, we're going to end up with a whole bunch. It's because it is so. Let's move it over. Hey, Mayo. Okay, and it took forever to move over, so you know it's got... Okay. So now what the color scan does is it scans for each color group. Okay, for each color group, all right, and puts them on a different layer. Okay, so if you look down here, it says a group of 7 objects in layer 1. Okay, so there's 7 objects in this layer. There is a reduce nodes function, Pavla. Yes, there is. You can simplify it, but it would have to be simplified quite a few times to reduce it. Like, let me show you this first, and then I'll go back and I'll do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to up to object, and I'm going to ungroup these layers. Okay, so now we have, just a second, I'm just going to get rid of that because, so now if I take these layers off, we can probably find one that makes a little more sense to cut. Okay, so there's a layer. Now that layer has 882 nodes. Okay, so we've reduced from 5,000 to 882. Hey, Jerry Ann. Okay, so now I can take this, and that's obviously the blackest layer, right? It did 7 scans of it. Okay, so let's move this over. All right, and that one has 1,000 whatever nodes, and it has more detail, a little more detail than this one. Okay, so let's move that up there. Sometimes it helps to reduce the nodes automatically. Oh, okay. Now, and so what I do when I do it this way, I would go through, okay, and find out which layer, okay, has the most detail with the decent number. Oh, good luck, Pavla. Hi, Jerry Ann. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. I already know you. Nice to see you. Okay, a little bit more detail yet. Okay. Okay, now, actually, to tell you the truth, I really like, now I'm going to change the color of these ones so that you can see. Must be one more, because there's supposed to be 7. Uh-oh. Barb got kicked out just by the thought of you opening your rotary cutter, Pavla, just in case you're wondering. Oh, there's not another one. That's strange. Okay. Oh, there must be a white one. Pavla, you're trying to panic Barb, aren't you? Ha ha. Hi, Miko. All right, so the one that I like the best, like now this one I wouldn't cut, the blue one, because there's no stem here at all. It's not even recognizable as a note, really. So I'm going to get rid of that one. This green one has a little bit, but it's a pretty, you know, so I don't want that one. Maybe this one. Maybe this one. Let's see what this red one's like. Yes, Pavla, because those rotary cutters would definitely do more damage than the other craft knives would even. All right, so it's one of these 4, and I think this one looks best to me. So I'm going to get rid of the rest of those. There we go. Oh, and there's the white one, so. Oh, I should undo the delete. Undo, delete. And change it to green. Oh, no. Okay, that's just the background, right. Okay. So, all right, so this is the one. Excuse me. So under here, I can simplify and reduce the number of nodes. All right, so where I went was you select your object under path, and you can choose simplify. All right, that took it down to 336 nodes. All right, so that's very cuttable. That's very decent amount to cut. If I simplify it any more, I'm going to lose detail. So, all right. Now, like I said before, I always like to have my Cricut cut my outline as well. So I always make a box. Now, this is just a box, okay? If you look at it down here, it's a rectangle. It is not a path. It has to be a path. So I go path, object to path. Now it's a path. Okay. Now I'm going to move it down to the bottom of the pile. This is your down to the bottom. Okay. And so now, because I just like to have my Cricut or my Cricut. That was a Freudian slip. I like to have my Cameo cut out the edge of my stencil as well. So, especially if they're small ones like this, smaller ones. So now I select both of them, path, exclusion, and there we go. So that's my stencil. Yes, Miss Pris is Linda Mayo. Linda, M-A-Y-O. So we also call her Mayo because her middle name is May and her last name starts with O. So we call her Mayo, as in mayonnaise. That's her nickname. So, there we go. Now I've got a music splat stencil. So now I want to go File, Save As, scrapbooking stuff. Where am I? Desktop, scrapbook stuff. Stencils. My stencils. And music splat. I will call that. Oops. Whoops. Oops. Sorry about that. Music splat. .svg. Save. There we go. Okay. So there we go. Now, close without saving. And, oh gosh, darn it. Sorry. It closed out my whole Inkscape. I forgot it does that. Didn't mean to do that. So, sorry about that. Anyway. Yes, Miko, I'm still at my mom's, so I just have to do streams where I can do stuff on my desktop, on my computer. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, it takes a while to open up the, where is it? Underneath, it must be. Hold on. Where did it go? What happened to it? It says it's open. Alright, so let's quit. And now let's open a new one. Well, Eileen is known as E.T. for a reason. Eileen, the elf enabler. Yeah, she's very good at making people buy things. I don't know where Eileen went. Maybe she's grabbing something to eat. She was here. Okay, where are you? Just a second. It's hiding and it's not there. That's not the... That's the other one. That's not the... Bye, Barb. See you. Okay. Well, let's just... quit again. Let's quit this. And let's open everything again. Oh, I've never sold you on anything. Never. Not me. Not innocent little me. Oh, except maybe PBO paints, right, Carrie? If Carrie's here. Carrie did buy some PBO, but that's really, we have to blame that one on Patty, because Patty got me hooked on those, so then I have to get everybody hooked on the PBOs. Okay, this is way too weird. Where it's now showing that it's open again. There's my studio software. That's really strange. It's showing on my dock that it's open, but it's not there. Oh, there it is, finally. Oh my gosh. Sorry guys, took forever. Whoosh. Okay, I will not close another one. I will just always open a new one. Heavens to Betsy. Document properties. I want it 8.5 by 11 inches. And there we go. Okay. Phew. Oh, I didn't. All right. So, there we go. Oh, I know, Miko. Isn't that hilarious? Altered brownies. Hey, where is Jamie anyway? Miss Jamie not being here. Okay. So, what else did I have? Okay, I found a couple of other things. Yeah, I found music notes with wings. Yeah, this one. So, I thought this one was cool. Now, so, isn't it gorgeous, Miko? And it was a free one too. There are a couple others there, but they're not free ones, and I couldn't find out where to buy them. So I'll have to go back and I was kind of searching quickly. So, so the first thing I need to do, once again, this is an image. So I need to switch it. Oh, well, it's kind of similar to that one, but the indigo blue one stamp didn't have music notes in it. So, oh, does it really, Miko? Because I don't want to use it if it's, when I looked, I didn't see where it came from online. Oh, okay, well, maybe I shouldn't use it then. Because just because it's online doesn't mean it's free, because someone else might have illegally put it up there. So, okay, let me look that up and see. Looks like Bloom Girl, you think, Miko? All right, so I'm going to go back to I'm going to look it up here. So let's go home. Oh, this computer's so slow compared to my desktop at home. Let me do this over here so I can see what you guys are saying still. So let me look at Bloom Girl. Oh, and let's do images. The hair isn't the same? Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. I want to make sure, because like I looked and it didn't say that it had any copyright or anything. So, all right. Okay. All righty. All right. Okay. Perfect. Good. 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 All right. So I'll go ahead then. So path, object to path. And this one isn't all sketchy like the other one, so it should work better. How come that's not coming up? Let's try that again. Path. Oh, trace bitmap. Duh. Okay, so let's see what comes up. All right, so once again, I think I have to do the scans. Let's do 5. No. All right, let's do grays. There we go. Okay, so because it's black and white, I did gray, choose grays. Okay. All right. So once again, this time I got a group of 5 because I did 5 scans. So I'm going up to object. All right, and I'm going to ungroup. All right, so now we'll see how many. Okay, hold on. There's the image. Sorry, I forgot to move the image. Okay. All right, so there's the first. All right, let's zoom out here. There's 5 different ones we have to choose from. But the back one will be just a like square or a rectangle. I guess I can just color that. Why don't I just color that black? Okay, so let's make her yellow. Let's make her green. Let's make this one red. And let's make this one blue. So now let's look at each one. All right, so let's go back to 5 here. So let's pull in the yellow one. Oh, look. Aha. There is a watermark on it, guys. I can't use it. There is a watermark on it. I just couldn't, I did not see that at all. It must have been white. So if I want to use this, I'm going to have to go back later and see if there's somewhere to buy it, because I love this image. So, all right, ixnay that one. So that's what you have to be careful of when you go online. And it didn't show up until I scanned it. So there you go. All right. So I'll go in and see if I can find a place that you can purchase it. And if I do, I will show you all later. All right, so now I do want to do a music one, and I happen to have a font on my computer. I have a couple fonts on my computer that will do music notes. So I'm going to choose the text, and if you just type in, let's see, I want to go to my Opus. MNOP. Opus. Hello. Okay, Opus. All right. Wonder, is that the best one, or is there is another one. There's lots of different Opus ones, but there are other ones too. Just a second here. Yeah, I don't think so, Eileen. Somehow. Just a second. What is the other? I should have my music ones all memorized, but it's been so long since I used them. Oh, there we go. Ink pen. Okay, I think it's just ink pen too. And script. Script has some cool ones too. Okay, let's do that one. All right. All right. Oh, well, why didn't it? Where are you? H-I-G-H-I. Went right past it again. Ink pen. Size 40. How come it's not? Oh, duh. Okay, never mind. I know what I have to do. I'm choosing the wrong thing. There we go. All right, so. All right, so what I'm going to do here is switch it to ink pen. IJK. Sorry, guys. Okay. Would you stop it for me? Geesh. I should just give up. The humidity's getting to my brain. It's scrolling slowly, 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 slowly. Oh, it's gone past. Stop. Oh, I hate it when it does that. Ugh. Click one at a time here. Once at a time. H. I. Sheesh. Okay. So. So I can create here. I'm going to ungroup. Oh. Ah! Oh. I had to change the object to path. Now I can ungroup. Alright, so I want to use that. I want to use this. I want to use this. I can use this. These I don't need. Well, I make my stencils usually like 8 by 10, but I do have some smaller ones. So you can do that. And then you can move them around. Now, you can't do that upside down because it would be wrong, and I just can't do music notes the wrong way. Now, here's the problem with a whole note, which is what this is. It's going to cut out the whole, and you're going to be left with it's going to cut out the hole. So when your stencil cuts out, you're actually just going to be left with a circle. You're not going to be left with a whole note. So in that case, what you want to do is I have to create, okay, lines going through this that will connect. Okay, so I'm going to take a rectangle, and right here I'm going to draw a rectangle. Now I'm going to make it yellow so it's easier for me to see. And I'm going to duplicate that and put it up here. I'm going to turn it a little bit so that they're kind of going the same angle as the note. And alright, so now I'm going to highlight all of that. I'm going to go path. Now, which one? Hold on just a second. I can never remember which one No. Yeah, no, that's not the one. Edit, undo. It's not exclusion because that leaves the rest of it. Path. Oh, hold on. Difference, intersection. Oops. No, that's not it either. I have to do it. Oh, I know. Oh, okay. I have to do it when it's part of the... Oh, I know why. Oh, my goodness. Path. Object to path. I didn't make it an object, did I? No, I didn't. Here I am wondering why it wouldn't work. Object to path. Now it should work. But... Oh. No, because I don't want that. I just want it to cut through that. No. Oh, I never remember. Don't do as I do. Wait till I figure it out. Intersection, exclusion, division. Difference? No. Oh, I have to do it when I... Never mind. Hi, Goof! Alright, let's group this for a moment. Okay. I think these have to come... Never mind, let's ungroup. Undo. Undo. Undo group. Let's move these for a second. Okay. Let's see. If I want to do that, then I can duplicate this. And this can go on there. And that can go union. Okay. Now, I don't like this one. All right. Never mind. I have another idea. I'm going to show you kind of like with an idea of what one of Pavla's stencils was if you were at Pavla's stream. And let's make it black. Oops. Okay. Let's go back here. So let's start in the middle. Oh, baby update. Mitzi goes, baby update, is she walking yet? No, they got home yesterday from the hospital. But they live on the 3rd floor of an apartment building that has in Germany that has no elevator. So poor Stacia. It took her a while to get up the stairs. So they get up the stairs, had a nap, and then they went down to get ice cream, and his parents arrived and met them and came for supper. So Till is excited to have his baby sister home. That's what he calls her, baby sister. So, and for those of you who may not be aware, if you don't follow me on Twitter, my niece over in Germany had her little girl on July 2nd. She was due to go in. She was registered to go in and have her C-section on the 3rd, but Elisa had a different idea. So Elisa Michelle Borgert was born on July 2nd. 7 pounds, 1 ounce, 20 inches long, gorgeous head of dark hair. Looks just like her little brother did. Yeah. So, yeah, she didn't put a whole lot of weight on with the baby. So, anyway. Okay, so as I was saying, so here's a circle. I'm going to make one of those ones that kind of looks like a doily. So, path, object to path. Now I'm going to create, well, I want to make sure it is a circle. Okay, let's do inches. And I need to make this a little bit wider here. I hope you guys can still see the whole thing. I need to make it a little wider so I can get my height in there. Okay, so let's make it 2 by 2 to make sure it's a circle and lock it. So now that it's locked, I can increase it and it'll stay as a circle. Thanks, you guys. I'm excited to be a great aunt again. So my sister's over there. She's got another week. That's why I'm at my mom's, because my sister was over there for the baby's birth. So, all right, so let's duplicate. Oops, hold on. Guess I didn't. And let's make it yellow. And let's make it a little smaller, because what I want to do here is I want to make a ring. So I'm going to highlight both of them. I'm going to go up here to align, and I'm going to align center and center. All right, then I'm going to highlight them both, and path, exclusion, there. So now we have a ring. If you bring a photo into Inkscape and want to trace a design, would you? So you want me to do a photo? Oh, sure, I can do a photo. All right, I'll show you how to do a photo. Let me see. Let me put that over there. Whoops. Well, actually, no, I'll just start a new one so that I don't have that. Sure, I can do that, Carol. Okay, so what you do, let me go back to 5 here. All right, let me create a new one here. Letter, landscape. Okay, so let me move it over here. Okay. So let me find a photo. Now, it's I'm just trying to think of where I will find photos. Okay, let me just find a random photo off the internet. Let's do let's do like a rose, okay? So let's do a rose. Oops. Okay, so first thing you're going to want to choose when you want to try and have one that has some good distinction, okay? Between the background and the foreground. Like, for example, if I could, I would always choose, hold on, sorry, I clicked the wrong thing. If I could, I would always choose, if you can, one that has a white background, but you don't. Don't worry about it, Carol. Oh yeah, Carrie, did it come? Did your jelly plate come, Carrie? I knew it would if it was a yeah, if it was a community mailboxes. Ha. Okay, so it's easiest, but I'm going to choose one that has a white background and one that doesn't have a white background. So let me do this one because it has a white background. Yay, Carrie. So I'm going to go copy photo. Does it have a, yeah, copy image. And then I'm going to paste it. Okay, so there's one. It's a photo, but it is already has a white background. Then let's choose one that doesn't have a white background. Oh no, Carol, the tracing it into a path. Tracing it turns it into a path. But it's just, you have to find the best way. Would you rather me do it in the Silhouette software, Carol? Would you rather me do it in the Silhouette software? Just waiting for the leg to catch up. You're in Inkscape? Okay. Okay. All right, so then I'm going to choose this rose here that has a background, and we'll see how much more difficult one is than the other. We're going to lose Carrie soon to her jelly plate. I just know it. Okay, so here's the one with the white background. Okay, so I'm going to go up to Path, and I'm going to ask it to trace the bitmap. Now, I'll show you what happens. The brightness cutoff is your default, and it's usually set at 0.45. So if you click Update, all right, and this is not permanent. It's not permanent until you click OK. So you can try and try and try till you find out the one that works best for you. All right, so now there, that gives you the black outline, okay, with no detail at all, which is fine if you want to do a silhouette, but that's probably not our best. We can put down the brightness, see if we get anything better or not. There, now we get some more detail. Okay, because you want a little bit of detail. Okay, so there you go. Let's put it up a little bit. All right, so there now you have, all right, so let's click OK and let's see what happens. All right, now you can see they're on top of each other. We're going to move this over, and you want to keep the one that's the path. There's the other one. We're going to move it off the mat. Hit the number 5 to take you back to your center. Okay, so there's that. Now the thing is you have to think about is whether it's going to work as a stencil or just as a mask. This would work well as a mask. All right, it's going to cut out. Let's click this. You go up to view, all right, and you can see what it's going to cut. It'll show you the outline. So there's the lines that are going to cut on this, if you make it a stencil or if you make it. Now, just remember, if you make it as a mask, this is what you'll get. So it'll make a great mask. As a stencil, this detail will come out, but this detail here won't show up, okay, on a stencil. All that's going to show up on a stencil are the parts that are connected. you would have to take this and connect it to the outside border, okay, in order to use it as a stencil. So that will work great as a mask. Okay, so now to order to get my thing back, sorry, view, display mode, back to normal. Okay, so that shows you what that's going to cut. All right, now let's have a look at this one and see what we get. No, Carrie, actually, it is a Windows program. If you have a Mac, you have to install what's called Quartz as well in order for the Mac to read the program. It's actually a Windows program and it's free. It's called Inkscape. It's so much. I mean, if you like this kind of stuff, it is so much fun. I've sat for hours and hours and hours. Now, I don't do it all the time, so every time I go back, I kind of have to figure things out again. But it's fun. I love it. Oh, you didn't get your numbers quite the same. Okay. I think it was on 0.32. Actually, before we do this one, let's go back and do this other one with a different, hold on. Let's go back and do this other one with a different type of tracing before we do the other rows. See if it makes a difference. So path, trace bitmap. Now let's do a 5 scans, and let's do colors. Now let's see what happens. All right. So now let's see if we get any better, if you get something better. Sometimes you will, sometimes you won't. Okay, so that's my group of 5 objects. That's my image. Let's move the image over. All right, so now I have to ungroup the objects. Let's move that over too. Okay, so there's that piece. All right, so when you scan by color, it's going to scan each different color in the photo on a different layer. Okay, so that was the like a dark red. There's the light red. So that gives you a silhouette. There's that green layer. All right, and there's a green silhouette that's totally even less detail than this one. And then there should be the background, which we will just make teal so that it's different. So there's your square background, because all images have a square layer in the back. Okay, so now you could actually do it this way. So this is not much detail. You don't want that layer. This is kind of cool. That's kind of a neat layer. So what I would do is I would take this. I would make it a little smaller. And then I would do both of those. And then I would go path and I would go exclusion. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Is that on the bottom? Yes, it is. Hold on. I might need that brighter to make the difference here. Choose both of them. Intersection maybe in this one. How come it's not doing it? Huh. How did I break it into layers? When you do the colors, okay, you have to choose. Okay, let me do it again. Let me do it one more time for you. Okay, so you take this over. All right, path, trace bitmap. I chose colors and 5 scans. Okay. Now, always remember when you choose how many scans, always remember that scan number one of the scans is always going to be the rectangle of the clip art. Okay, the rectangle of the bitmap. So let's do one more scan, see if we get one more color. So let's go update, click OK. Now here's the important thing when you're trying to break them apart. Hi, Dar. Okay, there's always one left on top of each other. One is called a group of 6. One is called the image. So you don't want the image anymore. What you want is the group of 6. Just right click, ungroup, or object ungroup, whichever way you want to do it. Okay? Yes, you just have to remember to move the image and try and work with the one that says group of objects. Oh, that's why it didn't work. Duh, I didn't change them to paths. Oh, yes, it did. Never mind. Hold on. Okay, so this time when we get 6, we have that one. We have that one. We have this one. So we have, see when you do 6, we got this extra detailed green one. I like that. Okay. So I'm going to get rid of this red one. I'm going to get rid of this green one. Now we have to decide between the red and the blue, or red and the green, which one we want. Now actually, we can probably take this. These are basically the same except, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these two and I'm going to line them up. All right, I'm going to click Align Center, Center. Let's see what happens if we union those. Oh no, I didn't have them. Edit, undo. Oh, there we go. So I guess you don't align them perfectly because then they don't align properly. Now union them. Yeah, get more detail that way. So I put those two back together. Oh, you just missed the ungroup. Okay, perfect. See, and so then I took those 2 layers, Carol, and put them back together. Yeah. Now, here somewhere there is a, there we go, a yellow. Now this should, whoops, I accidentally drew out a path exclusion. There we go. So path exclusion. There we go. So now that would be what your stencil would look like. Yay, Carol. Woohoo. Yes. So now I can click this. Now, before I save it as an SVG, I want to make sure I have nothing else on my, I want to get rid of all these. And since I still have things to work on, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go copy, and I'm going to open a new one. And I'm going to go paste so that it's the only thing on my desktop, because you don't want anything else around here because it all saves. So then you go File, Save As, and I'm going to name it Rose. And I'm saving it in my stencil, so that's correct, and click Save. Oh, I already have one saved as Rose. Oh, it didn't type. Oh, there we go. Rose. Oops. Oh. I don't want to replace it because I don't know what I have there. Rose 2 then. Okay, so there's Rose 2 saved. I'll close that out. So now, what if we want to do this other one that has a background? It's the same process. Okay, so we go Path, Trace Bitmap. Let's do 6 cans. There's the update. Okay. So I haven't done this on the silhouette yet, so I have no idea if it will do this kind of a detailed image or not. So there's my group of 6. It goes on the top. So I'm going to move that over, get that out of my way. So now let's see what we get here. Let's zoom out some. And I want to get rid of my guide there. I accidentally snapped a guide. I don't want it there. Okay, so let's ungroup these. Now this time I won't be keeping the background. I'll just want the rows. Whoop. All right, so there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4, there's 5. So you definitely don't want that one. You definitely don't want that one. Don't want that one. So it's between this one and this one, which is going to make I think this one will make a better stencil. Yeah. On that trace, that last trace, the same one, color and with 6 scans, I think. Hold on. 6 scans and colors. The more detailed your picture is, the more colors you'd want to choose. If you're trying to do a person, okay, do you guys want to try a person? So I would probably, now here's the thing. You have to see. All right, hold on. This one's going to be your best bet. But even at that, you have to have these connected. Now, this white one is connected to here, so that's going to cut out. This is all connected to the outside. That's connected to the outside. See, that's the thing. You have to have it connected to the outside or it's not going to cut out as a stencil. So some of this detail on the inside, yep, there's a space. Let's zoom in so we can inspect it. All right. In order for this to cut out properly as a stencil, all these inner things have to be somehow, somewhere connected to these outer white parts. So you can see here that there is a connection there. Now what I would do is, there's the nodes. I would highlight that little spot right there. That node, and I would remove it. There, that one. Okay, so that removed that little spot there. I would remove this too, because it's just going to fall out anyway. It's just going to take more time for your cutter to cut it. All right. All right, so all these white spots, they're connected to there, which is connected to there. So as long as they're all connected somewhere to the outside, you will be fine. Now, we have to connect. All right, so let's zoom out. 5, hit number 5. Let's go to our view and see what we get. Display, outline. So that shows what's going to cut out of your stencil. So sometimes you have to look really closely, and sometimes even when you think it's going to work, it's like, that whole thing might cut out of there. So but the other thing you can do, so Carol, is you can take like that color part, and you could, like, for example, you could have taken that whole section, and in Silhouette you could print, and then you could trace just the outside of this, and you could cut out the rows. So you can do that. Yeah, you have to make connecting lines. Okay, so I'm going to try a person. All right, so I'm going to try a person. Yeesh. All right, so what do I got here? I'm just going to erase that. So let's find a picture of who. Who do we want to find a picture of? Guys, give me a name of a celebrity. Who do we want to trace a picture of? Oh, can I reverse the image? Yes, you can. Somehow. Well, you just change the colors. The option is in the trace. In the trace option, Mitzi, I'll show you. Ugh. Yes, I will show you. It is in... Yes, you can do that too, Jen. You make them black and white and high contrast. Grumpy cat? Okay, let's do Grumpy cat. Let's find a good picture of him. Let's see here. Yeah, I want a picture with just him without any arms in it. Alexander Stargard. Who the heck is that? Oh, sorry. Lost my... There he is. Okay. Oh, no, I don't want to join you. Forget it. Yeesh. Alright, let's just... Okay. Let's see if it's big enough an element. See if it's got enough detail from that. Sometimes you have to open them, but we'll see if there's enough detail. Well, it's 365 by 277. It's going to be a close one. Oh, okay. I don't watch that series. I hate vampires. Okay, so let's just see if this one will. So trace bitmap. Let's do 5 colors again. Trace. Oops, number 5. Okay, so now I have to ungroup them. Okay, let's zoom out some here. I do everything by mouse, guys. I don't do anything by... Oops. Oh. I forgot to go back to my pointer. So that's the background. So what you have to do is choose the layers that you want to keep. That would give you the most detail. Let's see what happens. Let's change that one to black. And let's change this one. No, I think these two probably are going to do the best. There goes this stupid dog again. Okay, so let's see. Let's see what happens here. Let's move this. Okay, let's align these two. Okay. Now, let's see, edit, undo. I guess intersection wasn't what I wanted. Well, maybe union? Yeah, see, so, yes, my doggy's, not my doggy. Yeah, it definitely is. See, now we could get more detail by scanning more colors, right? We could get more layers by scanning more colors. So some things work more than others. But let's do, okay, hold on. Is Barb still here? I know who I want to trace. Watch this. Oh, right. Yes, she did leave. I remember now. I remember saying goodbye to her. For those of you who don't know, this is Barb's son. This is Barb's son, also known as Hot Sun. I'm going to go for this one because it has a light. Okay, $3.99 by $3.60. Sorry. Copy image. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. Path. So I made 10 scans. So there's the outside of him, so that would work. Yes, he did. He bought her camera and all her system that she needed to do her stream. And he also helped her tape her audiobook. Okay. So I think let's zoom out some. So here we go. Here's one here. There. So obviously we're not going to use that one. Now, this one has some good detail here. So let's make that one black. I know, wouldn't that be funny, Carrie? Oh, yeah, definitely. Let's make this one yellow because what I'm going to do is I don't know. Hold on. Let's just see. Let's get rid of everything else. We might just have to do this one like now she's scratching on the door to get in here with me. It's like, no, Nova, you're not coming in here with me. Forget it. Now, I wonder if we... Let's see. Intersection? No. It's not an intersection that we want. It is... Oh, there's the white box. Get rid of that. Path. Division? No. No, definitely not that. Okay, so I guess we would have to just do... What I want is this with that face on it. Oh no, Barb calls him Hot Sun too. She thinks it's funny. And I'm sure he does too. What I want to do is just try something. I'm going to get my eraser. I'm going to zoom in. I want to zoom in right on there. And actually, I want to zoom in on here. And I'm going to get my eraser, and I'm going to see here if I can get rid of some of this. Oh, no. That's not what I want to do. I want to get this. Okay, so we can move these nodes around a wee bit. I just don't want this. It looks like he's got a fat head. So I'm just going to move these nodes in. Oops, hello. Want to get hold of that. There we go. Okay, where's that arm? Get that out of there. There we go. Get rid of that node. This guy over here. Get this guy over here. So you can move all these nodes around. This is how you can draw your own thing there too. Alright, so let's see. Does that look any better? Yeah, he's got a little bumpy here. Alright, let's go back to nodes. Get rid of the bumps that he somehow developed when I was moving nodes around. There we go. Sorry, you guys, I'm not watching chat at the moment. There we go. Is that better? It's a little better. Okay, so there we go. There he is. Look at that. Now, the other thing I would do would be, I would get rid of the words behind him here. So I would get rid of all this. Now I messed this one up, so just get that down there. There. So, oh, there's some up on top too. Hold on, we'll get rid of that. We don't need that anymore. We just want this guy. Alright, so I need to zoom in a little bit more again. Zoom in on this. Change it to nodes. Select these nodes. And get rid of them. Select these. Get rid of them. There's one there. There we go. Now let's fix this. Don't want him to look like he has a bump on the top of his head either. Oops. There we go. There we go. Ta-da! Carrie. Ice Chat, it's called. If you have a Windows, it's Ice Chat. If you have Mac, it's called Colloquy. You can see it. Here's how it's spelled. Colloquy. if you have a Mac. So I'm going to copy this, open a new landscape. Oh, I don't know what size I opened. Paste. Let's make it yellow. Oh, path, object to path. Oh, right. I can't copy and paste it. Yeesh. Because when you copy and paste, it changes it back into an image. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to save it from here. Path, object to path. Put it down to the bottom. Let's change this, move this up. This is just so that my silhouette will also cut the frame. Connect both. Path. Exclusion. There is my hot sun stencil. Could be anybody. But it is him. Honest. Honest, Barb. It is him. Gotta get rid of everything else. Don't want to save this on it. No, I'm gonna have to save it again. Is everything else gone? Yes. File save. Okay. Yeah. Yes, that's right, Carrie. COLLOQUY. Okay. All right, so now if you have Silhouette and you want to cut this on your Silhouette, all you do is you open up your Silhouette software and you go File, Open. Excuse me, I'm sniffling. Oh, my eyes. I'm going to go back to that circle one that I was going to do too before I got distracted. But that was fun, Carol. That's fine. Got a little more advanced today. All right, so desktop, my stencils. So let's go find Hot Sun. Because it's an SVG, it will open right up in the program. And it just takes a second to finish opening there so you can move it around. Oh. Oh, it's time to take my allergy pills. That's why my eyes are watering. Please excuse the Alright, so then you can move it around. You can make it whatever size you want to cut the stencil. Okay, and there you go. Oops, sorry, I lost the chat because I didn't reduce my window here so I could see y'all. Okay. Oh, you're welcome. No problem. Yeah. Okay, so I want to go back here and go back to my circle one. Okay, because we all know that Pavla created some cool stencils just using circles, rings. So sorry, excuse me. Just trying to. All right, so let's make it a little smaller. Okay, so now I'm going to click Edit, and I'm going to, no, I'm not, sorry. Object, Yeesh. Okay. Hold on. Whew. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to make a row of these, and I want to make them overlapping each other. So let's see if I can figure that out. So we're going to go to Edit, make sure your object's chosen, Edit, Clone, Create Tiled Clones. All right. So 6. I don't want any columns right now. I want one column. All right. Then what's my, so you can do rotations, you can do reflections. Ours is a circle, so obviously it's just going to stay the same because it wouldn't make any sense. So I am going to shift my X, I'm going to shift my Y, none. 10%. Let's do, I think I have to do a minus, but I will find out, won't I? Create. No, that's not right. Ugh. Never mind, let's just do it this way. Duplicate. Okay, Mitzi. Bye. Thanks for coming. So now I always choose both of these. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. Then click duplicate both of them because you may as well do 2 at a time. Okay, I want to join those. So I think I need to. Alright, hold on. I need to move this one over a little bit more because I want them to be connected. So I want it to be more than halfway. So what I'm doing is I'm lining this halfway point and making sure that this rim is at least halfway. Now let's try the duplicate. Excuse me. Duplicate. And I just want to get them so that they're the same size there. Eyeballing though. Whoops, get them all lined up. Forgot to take my allergy pills. Now I'm going to select them all. I want them to be lined up. Now, if this was my whole screen, these options would be over here. It's just because I reduced the size of the screen. So I want to line them up centers this way. There we go. Okay, so now I want one. This is not the same distance. It's going to drive me crazy here. The centered pair has to move that way. Okay, hold on. I've got to align them differently. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. All right, so what I want to do is I want to take that and I want to group them. No, that's okay. I'll be all right. I'm just going to do one more thing here. It's just watery eyes. Oh dear. Alright, so what I want to do is align those. This way. Now, I also want to have... Okay, so now I'm going to duplicate all of that. Okay, hold on. I want to group it. This and this I'm going to group. No, I'm not. Sorry. I want to duplicate this and move it over. So I want to choose them all. I want to align them this way, but then I also want to distribute them equally this way. Oh, no I don't. That's kind of cool though. I know what I want to do. I want to ungroup everything. Ungroup. So now I'm going to, oops. Now I want to distribute evenly. Huh. Maybe I don't. Oh, there we go. Okay, I want to, there we go. Distribute the left sides. All right, got it. Now let's duplicate that. Move it over here. And bye, Janet. Oh, let's get rid of those. I don't need those anymore. I was trying to show something that didn't work out, and I got a stupid bug climbing up my screen. There must be a hole in Mom's screen. Make sure these are aligned. Sorry, I moved my box so you could see what I was doing. Align to the center and distribute to the left. Okay, so now what I want to do is now I can group them. Okay, so object, group. And now I'm going to make... Thanks for coming, Janet. Okay, Erica. Sorry if I missed anyone else coming. I'm focusing on the screen here, not... Duplicate. Let's move it down. And I want to align this time this way in the center. Duplicate. Oh. And one more. Duplicate. So I'm going to choose all 4 of those. And my align and distribute. Alright, so I want to align the centers this way. And this way. Distribute them. And there we go. Hi, Susan. Just creating some more stuff here. I'm going to go out because, and I'm going to change those all to yellow, and then I'm going to draw a black rectangle because, as you know, path, object to path, send it to the back. I always like to have a nice border around my stencils to hold on to. Alright, then do this. Now, I've got them grouped. I can't remember. I might have to ungroup them before this will work. Yes, I do. Ungroup. 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 Now it should work. Path. Exclusion. And it's not working. Something's still grouped somewhere. Hold on. Whoops. Okay. All right, let's make sure nothing's grouped here. Edit. Select all. Object. Ungroup. All right, let's see if everything's ungrouped now. Select all. There we go. Huh. Oh, no, I don't want to do that first. Oh, undo. Oops, I have to... Ugh. Hold on, I have to union these first. Hold on. See, because what it did was it took each individual circle and cut it out. I have to union these first. Path, union. Now I can do this. I'm going to align them. Center, center. And now that will work the way I want it to. There we go. Okay, now here's what I thought. Yeah, I wasn't thinking. See, here's what's going to happen. This will make me a great mask. Okay? This ring section will all cut out and make a really cool mask. But it won't make a stencil. Who can tell me why it won't make me a stencil? Oh, I don't know, Susan. I'm not playing music. Obviously, she can't hear me if she's hearing music. She must tell her she must have another tab open. Uh-oh, shoot. That's right, Carol. Perfect. You're right. These small inside pieces would all fall out. So it won't make a stencil, but it'll make a mask. In order to make a stencil, I have to connect all of these to this black outside part. So that would mean, let's see, I want to save this because I do want to use that. Save as Ringo. Let's call it Ringo. Ringo. Yeah. So what I can do is I'm going to take my rectangle and I'm just going to draw a rectangle and path, object to path, and I'm going to get it in the middle. It's going from one side to the other. Now I'm going to duplicate it. Oh, sorry. I always unzoom. I keep forgetting that shift and right click is not lifting my shift key. Duplicate that. Move it down. Now, edit, select all. Now this time I want to do a union because I want to add those rectangles to the stencil. I don't want to cut them out. I want to add them to it. So I'm going to go path, union. All right, so now this is all connected. Okay? All these inside pieces are connected, but these little ones aren't. So your stencil's not going to have these little cutouts. It's just going to have these kind of rings like that. Exactly, they will. The little triangles will still fall out, yes. Never mind, we want them to fall out. Yes, or all I'd have to do is to put another, you could put a rectangle down through each one, but then you ruin the triangles anyway, right? But you're keeping the insides. So you're still going to have an interesting stencil, right? Exactly, Carol. That's what I say. We want to fall out anyway. So, I'm going to save that as Ringo 2. So this won't make as good a mask, but it'll make a stencil. So, any other questions before I sign out? You're not understanding the black lines? Okay, this, what it does is it connects all of these inside pieces here, all right? It connects them to the outside part of your stencil. So now they're not going to now they're not going to fall out. The part that's going to fall out is the white part plus your little black triangles will fall out. Okay, I'll show you. Let's go up to view. Let's go to display mode and let's go outline. All right, so now you can see that's where it's going to cut. We're going to be left behind with this, and all of these sections are going to stay intact because they're now connected to those black lines that are there. I could have made them thinner, but when you make thin lines, you're going to have a stencil that's a little less able to be stable, you know. Yes, so we're not going to have complete circles. Okay, let's go back. We're not going to have complete circles, but your eye will kind of finish the circles. You can make that rectangle slimmer, but then you have a thinner line connecting your. Well, yeah, there's no other way. You can't make a stencil unless you do that. So that's why I kept the other one, though, because you'll have the circles if you make it as a mask. But if you want to make a stencil, it has to be connected. All right, so we're going to be left behind. What we're going to be left with is all the black parts. That's going to be your stencil. Yeah. Well, it would, because you'll be left with this kind of thing that kind of looks like a comb as a mask. You'll just be left with border masks kind of thing. So yeah. And then you'll be with this one, you'll be left with two different kinds of masks, because you'll be left with these ones, this mask, this will end up being a mask, and these will end up being a mask. So you'll be left with two different kinds of mask. Well, and that's true. You have to spatially see it. And for some people, it'll make more sense, especially if you haven't done a lot of work with the program to know what happens. And that's sometimes it's hard. Like that's what Pavla was saying too, when with her ones that she was doing, her maze ones. Because the maze has so many starts and stops on a line, it didn't stay all connected. Yeah, so yeah. Okay, so any other questions? Any other thing? And you could do the same idea with squares. You can do the same thing with stars. You could do the same thing with triangles. Oh, in reverse colors. Let me see. How do you do that? Hold on. Well, you just have to know. I don't think it'll do that. Oh, wait, it will if I open it. Hold on. It will if I open it in Silhouette, I think. Just a second. If I open it in my Silhouette program, I think I can reverse the file. Open. Ringo, I called it, didn't I? Ringo. PQR. Ringo 2. So I think I can. Oh, maybe I can't. That's lines. Fill. No, that just changes that. No, I can't. I thought I could, but I can't. I can't change it. So what's going to happen is the orange part will be your stencil. Yeah. Might be easier to see actually in the orange than in black. Okay, so just think of see how you can see that grid through? That's the part that's getting cut out. So it might be easier for you to see that with the grid in the background. Yeah, but it's not going to color in the rings. Yeah. Yeah, but it's free, Jen. It's free. And I don't have CS3 and I don't have the money. I only have Photoshop. I don't have CS3, so and Inkscape is free. Free. Margot, oh my goodness, how are you? Margaret, it's been forever and I was almost ready to sign off. I'm glad I didn't. Oh, because I get to see you. Woohoo. Wow. What have you been doing? Wow. Those of you who don't know, Key Margot is Margaret. She's been MIA like forever. Nice to see you. Yeah, Jen. Uh-huh. Yeah. And I'm not going to buy a program when I have one that does what I want it to do, for now anyway. For free. Just working and brooding. Aw, how come you're brooding? Hey, Margaret, did you hear that Dee Dee's doing another zine swap? Weren't you? I think you were in the first one. I didn't go in the first one, but I think you were. Yeah. See ya, Erica. Have fun. I've got to run too. I've got to go take all my meds and anyway. So like I said, next week. I'm still here next week. So I will be streaming, either doing another Inkscape video, or I'm going to try and see, or something else that can project from my computer screen, or I might see if I can get my sister's webcam, which is, I don't know, probably 10 years old, so it may not even work. If I can, I might do some watercolor or something. But anyway, do I have Photoshop on here yet or not? Well, I have my old version of Photoshop. I didn't put my new one on here yet. So, anyway. So thanks, everyone. Thanks for coming. And stay safe and stay cool.